She called her dad the night before she vanished. But the real mystery begins with what happened after she raced off into the woods. Imagine waking up to find someone you care about has disappeared without a trace. No note, no clue, just her car and silence. This is the chilling case of Maura Murray, a college student who vanished in 2004 and whose story has only gotten stranger with time. What you're about to hear will make you question how someone can just disappear in plain sight. Maura Murray was 21, a nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Smart, athletic, and kind. The kind of person you'd never expect to just vanish. On February 9th, 2004, she emailed her professors, saying she had a family emergency. She packed a bag, withdrew $280 from the ATM, and got in her black Saturn. But the family emergency wasn't real. No one in her family had died. Her boyfriend, Jason, said she called him sounding totally normal. She said she was headed to New Hampshire to visit her grandmother. That was the last time anyone heard her voice. She hit the road, alone. That evening, around 7 p.m., Maura's car crashed on a snowy back road in Woodsville, New Hampshire. A few witnesses saw her at the crash scene. She seemed shaken but not hurt. She reportedly told one person she had already called for help and didn't need anything. Then she vanished. Just walked off. When police arrived, her car was there. The airbags had deployed, but there was no sign of Maura. Search teams hit the woods fast. Dogs, helicopters, thermal imaging, nothing. There were no footprints in the snow leading away from the crash. No blood, no items dropped. She was just gone. In the hours and days after, her phone stopped pinging. Her bank account wasn't touched. Her credit cards were never used again. Here's the problem. We know she didn't die in that crash. She spoke to people. She was lucid. But after she walked into the woods, it's like the world swallowed her up. No one knows if she was trying to get away or if someone was waiting for her. And with freezing temperatures that night, time was critical. But every search came up empty. Some say Maura planned this. She packed carefully, took cash. She might have wanted to disappear. Others think she panicked after the crash and got lost in the woods, eventually succumbing to the cold. But wouldn't anything have turned up by now? Another theory. Someone picked her up. Or worse, someone was following her and took her. And there were rumors. Headlights seen down the road. An unfamiliar man near the scene. But nothing ever confirmed. The case blew up online. People mapped out the crash, reviewed timelines, cross-referenced traffic cams. Some said she was spotted at a gas station in another town. Others claimed she made it to Canada, but there was no hard proof. Not one camera caught her face after that night. The most chilling detail? Her scent, tracked by a search dog, stopped dead in the middle of the road, as if she got into a car. That moment when she stepped off the road is the last moment Maura was ever seen. No body, no footprints, no notes. 20 years later, her family still doesn't know what happened. Did she run away from her life? Was she taken? Did something unexplainable happen in those woods? Her face became one of the first viral missing persons cases online. But the case is still cold. What do you think happened to Maura Murray? Drop your theory in the comments and watch the next mystery already waiting for you on the screen. We just looked at the chilling case of Maura Murray, a college student who vanished after crashing her car on a snowy road. Now let's talk about another disappearance that's just as haunting, but even more ordinary. No road trip, no wilderness, no storm, just a quiet college student walking 8 blocks in his own neighborhood in broad daylight and then gone. This is the unexplained disappearance of Jason Jolkowski, and it might be one of the most frustrating missing person cases in American history. Jason Jolkowski was a regular 19-year-old guy. He lived with his parents in Omaha, worked part-time at a local fast food restaurant, attended classes at a nearby college where he was studying radio broadcasting. By all accounts, Jason was quiet, polite, a little shy, but dependable. He didn't party, he didn't drink, he didn't have a secret life. June 13th, 2001 was a normal Wednesday. Jason had been called in for a shift at Fazoli's, the restaurant where he worked. But there was a minor issue. His car was in the shop. So he arranged for a coworker to pick him up around 11:15 a.m. They agreed to meet at Benson High School, just 8 blocks from his house. It was an easy, familiar walk. Jason had gone there as a student. He could have walked it in 10 minutes. Around 10:45 a.m., his younger brother remembers Jason helping him carry garbage cans up the driveway. It was just a quick chore before leaving. That was the last time anyone saw him. Jason never showed up at the school. He never met his coworker. He didn't call, didn't text, didn't come back home. At first, his parents thought maybe something came up. Maybe he got delayed. Maybe he found another ride. But when the restaurant called later to ask why Jason hadn't come in, panic set in. They started calling hospitals. Friends. Nothing. By evening, they filed a missing persons report. Police responded, but like many missing persons cases in the early 2000s, it didn't get urgent attention. Jason was 19, legally an adult. There was no sign of a struggle, and the working assumption, he probably ran away. But nothing about Jason's life suggested he was trying to leave. He had money in the bank he never touched. He never picked up his final paycheck. His clothes, IDs, and personal items were untouched at home. So what could have happened on that short walk? Let's break down the theories. Did he run away? Jason had no reason to disappear. No girlfriend drama, no financial issues, no secret. He didn't even have his car. He left with nothing. If this was a runaway, it was the worst planned one in history. Was it a medical emergency? Some suggested maybe Jason had a seizure or passed out somewhere, but search teams canvassed the entire area. Every yard, every alley, every shed. No trace of him. And wouldn't someone have seen something in the middle of a summer morning? Then was he abducted? This is what most people now believe. The theory is that Jason may have been lured or forced into a vehicle. It would have taken just a few seconds. 8 blocks, 10 minutes of walking. That's all it took. One theory is that someone offered him a ride or asked for directions, and he let his guard down. But here's the part that haunts people. No one saw it happen. Not a single eyewitness has come forward in 22 years. Could it have been someone he knew? Jason was friendly, kind, trusting. Could someone he casually knew have picked him up under false pretenses? Or was it just the worst kind of random encounter? Wrong place, wrong time. What's especially frustrating about this case is how small the window is. We're talking about a 30-minute gap in broad daylight, a familiar street, in his own neighborhood, and there was no trace, not a footprint, not a camera, not a witness, no phone call, no bank activity, no one who said they saw anything unusual. Even the coworker who was supposed to pick him up had no idea something had gone wrong until he simply didn't show. Years later, police said it was one of the most confusing cases they'd ever worked. There was no crime scene, no lead suspect, just silence. And that silence has lasted for more than 2 decades. Nevertheless, Jason's family never stopped searching. They started an organization called Project Jason, dedicated to helping families of missing people. They also pushed for new legislation. In 2005, Nebraska passed Jason's Law, which created a central missing persons database for the state. His case helped change how Nebraska tracks disappearances. But for Jason himself, there are still no answers. He would be 43 today. No body was ever found. No new evidence has come to light. He simply vanished on an 8-block walk from his house to his old high school. And whatever happened during those 10 minutes has never been explained. Maybe it was random, or maybe it was someone he knew. Maybe it was something else entirely. But if someone took him, they've never said a word. If you think you know what happened to Jason, or just want more mysteries like this one, stay tuned for more stories.